70 miles an hour. They're looking like they're going slow compared to this guy in that number 2 lane. 100 miles an hour right now, going through about Fallbrook Avenue and 101 North right now, 101 northbound, coming up on Mulholland Drive. It's okay, I just pulled up the Facebook live stream. Coming up on Valley Circle right now, 95 miles an hour in that number 1 lane. Very dangerous speeds on these freeways. The freeways are set at speed limits for a reason. A lot of that being the conditions of the roads, the turns, things like that, and for other reasons as well. Is drivers aren't equipped or trained on how to drive at high speeds like this, and so at some point, we see these drivers outdrive their talent in some of these vehicles. It looks like maybe a Ford sedan. It's a little hard to tell. Yep, it looks like it's a Ford. A Toyota Camry, my assignment desk editor is telling me. He has a little bit bigger of a monitor. Foothill Transit vehicle. These are used for supervisors to move personnel around, all sorts of different things by the transit agencies. CHP now in pursuit. Good thing about this in some sense is the high visibility of this vehicle with those flashing lights. It's going to get the eye of those drivers that this vehicle's passing, and might encourage them to be a little more heightened and look at their surroundings and get out of the way of this vehicle as it continues to speed up to about 100 miles an hour now. Still northbound 101 coming up on Parkway Calabasas area. We're in the Calabasas area now for sure as we continue westbound on the 101. Soon, if we keep going this way, we'll start hitting the Ventura area, but we'll keep it live here on Sky 5 as we follow this pursuit of this stolen vehicle out of Pomona. Pomona PD first in pursuit, then Glendale took over with their airship as well, and now CHP West Valley has taken over the pursuit from them.
Going on, man? Hey. 7. Sorry. Salty Reef Ride Beans. Oh, John Denver. Hey, see you guys. Salty first. Appreciate you. Favorite. I know strangers. I mean, Shirley Enforcer. Hello. Alright, we have. I just want to put these are.
All the way over to that number 3 lane now. Still going about 95, 100 miles an hour, just passing those vehicles. And those vehicles look like they're in slow motion.
Last stream.
Into the number 4 lane,
Appreciate
all the way over.
Thanks
Seeing
for
a little bit heavier traffic
to
now
the other
as we're
channel,
working through
Salty.
this kind of
That's how you
pass
got the
up
extra
here,
points.
near
Second
Lost
place.
Hills Road off of the 101.
Gonna be resetting that now.
Now this makes it a little more difficult for the CHP as when you have units like this with their lights and sirens going, the general public is taught in driving school to pull over to the right side of the road, and if they're jumping through the number 3 lane like this, people in those number 1 and 2 lanes, wow, just missing that car, weaving over there just in time there. But those drivers in number 1 and 2 lanes are going to naturally want to move over to the right side of the road, but then they see a CHP unit in the lane they're supposed to go into, and it gets really confusing. So luckily,
Internet guy,
the CHP officers are managing their lights well, turning them off as they kind of go around those slower vehicles in those faster lanes, not to confuse those drivers, and then continue on with the pursuit when it's safe to do so by lighting up the vehicle once again. Now to that number 3 lane, just kind of weaving in and out of the traffic here as we enter Agora Hills. 101 near Chesborough Road here in Agora Hills, and we're just making our way now towards the 23 as we continue on here. Luckily, this time of night, very light traffic, not a lot of vehicles for this stolen vehicle and its suspect driver to kind of have to worry about weaving around or jumping around. But now flashing their lights, turning off those headlights, very dangerous as they make their way into that number 3 lane, passing those cars on the right side. Just trying to avoid every car possible and stay as far away from those CHP officers. But the CHP officers are right on his or her tail. pretty much saying, hey, we're not going anywhere. We're going to follow you till this ends. That's one thing that CHP does. Once they take over the pursuit, they rarely hand it off to another agency, and they follow it until it comes to an end. So they're going to stick with this, even if they have to hand it off to another division like the Ventura office up here possibly. They will do that as this continues on. CHP has a lot of officers, a lot of different offices in the area, and they train extensively on how to do these pursuits safely and have those fresh sets of eyes. The rested driver in that primary vehicle that's right behind that vehicle. It's a very hard role to be in as an officer. I can tell you from doing a pursuit course, when your eyes are trained on that bumper of that vehicle in front of you, it's easy to get exhausted because you're just so focused on managing your speed, managing the traffic around you. We're over 100 miles an hour right now, very dangerous speeds that those officers are having to deal with as they follow this Toyota. Now, something that happens talking to officers that have been in pursuit is once you start getting exhausted and you start being that primary vehicle for too long, you can kind of get tunnel vision or bumper lock, as my former coworker and reporter Tim Lynn has always told me about. And you just get so focused on that bumper, you start forgetting about the other vehicles, the other situations around you, and that becomes a very dangerous situation. So that's why we see agencies like the CHP as well as others switch out that primary vehicle pretty often so that they have a new set of nerves and a fresh set of eyes on that vehicle, so that those officers can drive as safe as possible and keep the public safe as possible as well. We're still working our way to the north and west here on the 101 northbound, going through Westlake Village right now. Now, how do we stop a pursuit is something that we're always asked, or how does the police department stop a pursuit? A few different ways that the departments will use. One of the simplest is just waiting for it to end, or for the vehicle to run out of gas, things like that. If someone's driving more dangerously or it needs to be ended sooner, the CHP as well as all the other agencies have tactics in place to help with that, including the pit maneuver, the pursuit intervention technique as it's referred to, and that's when a cruiser will pop up on the back corner of one of these vehicles, bump it, spin that car out of control, disables the vehicle, and then the suspect is more easily apprehendable when that vehicle is disabled from that kind of spin out that it does. Another option would be a spike strip, and those are retractable strips that all the cruisers hold. And what the officers will do is throw that out in front of the vehicle and then pop those tires with the hollow pointed tubes that are in that strip. And those tubes go with the vehicle. They make that puncture into the tires, deflate those tires, making it a lot harder for the suspect to drive. We saw a great example of that earlier in this week with a vehicle in pursuit. All four tires ended up falling off of that vehicle. And that can take a little while. It can go really fast. Just depends on the type of tire, the type of vehicle, and how the driver is driving. And so that's an option as well. We typically don't really talk about when or how those are going to happen too much, just to give those officers an element of surprise as this continues on. We haven't heard much about that, but another thing they have to consider in all that is the speeds and the consistency of the driving. You don't want to pop any civilian vehicle tires, and you don't want to do a pit maneuver and throw this vehicle into another car, into a house, anything like that, injure the public or the officer or the suspect. So they are very particular in the speeds and in the situations where they'll use those different techniques to bring a pursuit to an end.
So we have not seen him drive on surface streets yet. We'll see how far he takes this up into Ventura County here. Continuing past Lynn Road as we come up on Newbury Park. 9:42 on a Wednesday night as this suspect continues to lead the CHP on a high-speed pursuit northbound side of the 101 freeway through the San Fernando Valley into Ventura County now. As we get further in here, we will probably see a handoff by those CHP officers as they begin to notify their colleagues up north here, continuing, as I mentioned, past Newbury Park. Looks like it, yep. Suspect picking up speed here, now about 110 miles per hour as he continues where he basically has a lot more freeway to play with, at least in terms of traffic. Occasional cars by there, going by there, but for the most part, it is narrowing a little bit. But for the most part, he's got that number one lane pretty much to himself. There's another pickup truck going right around him. Some of those original CHP units have already backed off. Only that primary and secondary unit keeping up with this suspect, who is really pushing the pedal to the metal, now holding steady at about 100 miles per hour. Several interchanges coming up, Borchard and then Wendy Drive, but so far no signs of getting off here, continuing past Newbury Park, and that'll take him into a much more rural area until he gets into the Camarillo area, which it does appear he's going to bypass all these exits and eventually find himself in farmland as he gets closer to Camarillo. So continuing northbound side of the 101 freeway, this pursuit now going on for the better part of 30 to 40 minutes approximately. Again, this is a stolen Foothill Transit Agency vehicle. The supervisor, which is the person who was operating that vehicle, basically responded to a call regarding an incident on a bus, a fight on a bus. The suspect in that fight getting off the bus and then stealing that Foothill Transit Agency official's vehicle. And now you can see the pursuit continuing, CHP in hot pursuit as we make our way closer to Camarillo.
It's a city transit worker vehicle. You just got done explaining. Anybody didn't catch that. This dude got in a fight with somebody on the bus and stole the transit authority's vehicle. Like the vehicle that goes behind the bus and like tries to. It's like the supervisor's car, right?
Thank you for that. You have it back there? Okay. Thank you. Cool. So as I mentioned, CHP now handing it off to their Ventura County office. I stand corrected, it's actually a Toyota Camry that is in pursuit here. I thought maybe it might be a Chevy Malibu. Instead, it's a Toyota Camry. The driver now continuing past Camarillo Springs Road. Going through Camarillo, he'll have opportunities in Oxnard to get off as well. We'll see, but so far he remains committed to that number one lane on the 101 freeway. We've covered quite a bit of real estate in a very short amount of time, again, considering this started not too long ago in Pomona, and he's made his way all the way through the San Fernando Valley, well into Ventura County now, and he could take this as far north as he wishes. The 101 goes all the way up the state, so we'll see where exactly he intends to get off here, but right now it really looks like he's taking these officers along for a joyride. He knows his time is up, one would imagine, but he is slowing down just a little bit for no good reason. He doesn't have anybody in his way here, but the speed's now slowing down to about 70 miles per hour. So there could be a fuel issue. It could be a mechanical issue. Unlikely. We haven't seen
Situation
this
on
vehicle
board.
perform anything other than normal so far, but it does look like they may have executed a spike strip. That's a possibility, and at these speeds, they could even go ahead with a pit maneuver here. It looks like he's coming to a complete stop after what appears to be a possibly successful spike attempt as we come around these trees. CHP with plenty of units to execute this felony stop here. In the next few seconds, we will see if that driver is complying as this vehicle has come to a complete stop very, very suddenly. Doesn't look like they made contact with the vehicle, but the driver's side door is now open. The driver is out with his hands, he or she, with his hands up, now complying with these officers, stepping backwards in their direction. This pursuit coming to a peaceful end on the northbound side of the 101 freeway at Pleasant Valley Road. About a half a dozen CHP units in position here to take the suspect into custody, move that vehicle off to the side of the road, and hopefully reopen the freeway in short order here. So what was a high-speed pursuit through the San Fernando Valley into Ventura, now resulting in one suspect under arrest without incident.
Andre Hakopian. Thanks for something. Bad ending. What's a good ending?
Jesus. Holy cow. No, thank you. Did they move it over? Well, that'll just about wrap up our coverage of this pursuit. Again, one suspect under arrest after a high-speed pursuit through the San Fernando Valley, coming to an
Shut up.
HP, taking that person into custody after what appears to be a successful spike strip attempt on that Toyota Camry, now being moved off to the side of the road. Apparently a stolen Foothill Transit Agency vehicle. Now back in safe hands as they reopen the freeway here and things get back to normal. Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Oh, there was. That was all the content on the entire internet. Except for this. Oh, that's not live anymore. That was kind of interesting, but not really. The CJ's with TW Live. Dang, everything's so loud. So, if you want to go see CJ and TW Live, they are together.
So on a nightly basis, you see 90%
right now.
Yeah, I mean, saw a bunch last night.
See?
And there were certain areas where there was a chase going that I got a little bit more familiar with. The F-350 that.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Real quick because he went.
So there's that. I don't know, dude. TW Lives. They painted over all their shit. Winston Smith stuff.
But
They're
at the
upset
same
about
time,
it.
you never know what people are going to do.
This is a Winston Smith person.
So with stuff like that,
oh, he's leaving though.
I'd rather move myself out of the situation and let them hash it out amongst themselves. I was getting ready to leave anyway, so don't think they scared me off or nothing like that.
I missed it.
Hey! She can't even hear me. The reporter. Star Tribune reporter.
She heard you.
So yeah.
Just to conversate with the River. That's it.
People getting a little emotional. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the paint. Apparently, somebody said respectful. I think about. It sounded like about Deanna Marie. There was a lot of yelling, so I really wasn't hearing everything that was going on.
There we go. Did I miss anybody that should have been earlier?
I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out for a minute and get home. Like I said, I wanna
this guy. Yeah.
Midnight.
I don't like your name.
Spend a little time messing with OBS. Yeah. I probably log back on messing with that. So if y'all want to join me, be back on in a half hour or so, just messing around at home. Otherwise, until next time, I'm Rob G.
No man, this is a chase. He's in the chase right now. The cops, he got away.
Watchdog.
He got away, dude. And he's streaming it. He's like,
thank y'all for joining me, and y'all have a good one. Peace.
He did it. Dude, there was a chase like that once where this dude was he was live streaming it. He would go live like while he was in there, but he would cut it off and he'd cut it back on and cut it off. He was in a truck. He ended up in this big ass field. They got him, but that was wild. 2017.
We say roll call, so they come in where they're from and there's some bitch number.
See, I don't know about that. Dude, it's Bakersfield. There's not really that much going on out there, really. I mean, hell, Alien can barely even keep content going on all night. This is LA. Bakersfield, they can't fucking keep up, dude. There's a bunch of crazy shits out there, but like, I don't know. He just films people getting pulled over most of the time. Like they're just films them while they're getting a ticket. It's kind of weird. Dude, if I was getting a fucking ticket and I saw him roll up with all his professional camera gear and shit, filming me, get arrested or something, like, dude, get a fucking life, man. All up in everybody else's shit. Like, Rick. It's like already a bad moment for the dude. You're gonna fucking broadcast it to the entire planet, let everybody know. And he's like, you know what I mean? What are you doing? TW Lives, you're kind of scummy. I said it. And he's neck bearded as fuck. Why do you think he's never on camera? Ever. He's never on camera. It's like holy shit. If he's on camera, you feel like it's a special occasion or something. There's a reason for that, you know. It's the neck beard. I got proof. Dude, I wish we'd have watched this entire court case, kinda. That shit would have been crazy. Was it all televised? Sorry, anybody's coming through. You missed the chase. It just ended. I'm sorry. He was. Hey, did you guys hear about this tuna not being real? But then someone else said it wouldn't show up as tuna DNA because it's cooked. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Oh, Britney Spears is trying to get rights to her vagina. She doesn't have rights to her own vagina. Did you know that? Britney Spears actually has a thing up inside of her that doesn't allow her to have kids, and she's not allowed to take it out. Literally. They won't let her. She's got people that are in control of her vagina. Not just her money, not just her getting a, like, whether or not she works or not, because they're in control of that shit too. But her vagina, dude. Did y'all know that? Did who? Y'all didn't know. Fucking y'all didn't know that shit. I got people leaving chat. You think I'm bullshitting? Dude, you think I'm fucking bullshit? I've been reading a lot about it today. I don't know. It's probably all over the news. Everybody, y'all probably just leaving because yeah, it's old news. Who cares? But that's not old news to me. It just hit all the fucking headlines today, dude. It's called a conservatorship. Whatever the fuck. I didn't even know this was a thing, dude, until this. Until her. Today. Conservatorship. She doesn't have rights to her own vagina. If you thought she did, you're mistaken. You don't know Britney like I do. You don't know her like I do, man. One thing I don't like is when CX bots my stream or IP2. It's IP2 shitheads bought my stream when I first go live. Whoever the fuck did it, somebody did it. Just weren't real people, dude. Because nobody's talking except for you, Bill, over the past like 4 minutes. I'm getting off. Have a good night, man. Fuck. Fuck bots, dude.